stop everything you're doing right now. God has sent you an urgent message of protection. That relative you've been uneasy around, your divine guardian says you are no longer safe with them. This isn't just a random feeling, this is a sacred warning meant specifically for you. Through spiritual insight, the truth is being revealed. This isn't casual advice, this is divine intervention because your well-being is at risk around this person who shares your bloodline. Your inner discomfort has a spiritual source. Those unexplained feelings of tension, the subtle anxiety, the energy drain after interactions, all connect to this divine warning about your relative. The universe has protected this message until exactly this moment, when you're finally ready to accept the truth. Everything in your spiritual journey has prepared you to receive this revelation about the hidden danger this relative presents. This divine warning explains those nervous feelings you get around them. The way your energy suddenly drops in their presence. The strange sense that something isn't right despite their pleasant appearance. The emotional exhaustion after spending time together. These weren't imaginary, they were your spirit's alarm system working perfectly. Heaven's protection has shielded you until now, but divine timing indicates you must become consciously aware of this danger. Spiritual forces can only guard you to a certain point, now you must take action with this knowledge. This message requires courage to accept. Family connections run deep, and acknowledging that someone related to you brings harm rather than love challenges your understanding of loyalty and obligation. The protective window won't remain open indefinitely. Divine timing is aligned perfectly for this revelation, creating a special opportunity for your freedom. Earlier would have been before you were strong enough. Later would mean unnecessary additional harm to your spirit. Those who recognize this warning feel conflicted yet strangely relieved, finally understanding what their intuition has been saying all along. Quick, press the like button right now to activate your divine protection shield. Heaven says this simple action strengthens the spiritual barrier between you and this harmful relative. Guardian angels gather around you now, waiting for your acknowledgement of this warning. They've been working overtime to minimize the damage, knowing this day would come when you'd be ready to see the truth about this relationship that drains rather than nourishes your spirit. Type I accept divine protection if you're ready to acknowledge what your soul has been trying to tell you, perhaps for longer than you realize. The moment you type these words, additional spiritual safeguards begin surrounding your energy field. This is the most significant warning you'll receive about this relationship. Your spiritual well-being depends on heeding this message. But you must act now, this divine intervention window remains open briefly before closing. Divine truth has been sending warning signals. The signs have always been there, subtle red flags connecting to this relative's harmful presence. Think about those times when your energy suddenly drained after being with them. The unexplained anxiety before their visits. The way your sleep disturbs after interactions. These weren't coincidental reactions, they were divine warning systems activating in your body. Type I see the signs as your awareness expands. Your spiritual protection mechanism carries special alerts that have appeared throughout your relationship with this relative. Each odd feeling or unexplained discomfort connects to heaven's attempt to warn you. Through divine insight, patterns emerge clearly. Perhaps you've noticed how this relative always brings chaos into peaceful situations. Maybe certain topics trigger unusual reactions from them. Possibly you've felt an unexplained urge to keep important parts of your life private from them without logical explanation. Your spiritual intuition passed more than vague feelings to you. It transmitted specific warning signals through your body's wisdom. Every unexplained tension, every sudden mood shift in their presence served as protection alerts. Divine understanding reveals deeper truths. Those moments when conversations felt strangely one-sided. When kind words seemed somehow empty. When compliments left you feeling worse rather than better. These weren't imagination, they were your soul's recognition of manipulation. Living wisdom flows through intuitive warnings. Your spiritual protection system transcends conscious understanding, carrying divine alerts that your logical mind might have dismissed. The universe reveals critical timing now. This protective message reaches you at precisely the right moment in your spiritual journey. Earlier, you might have doubted your own feelings. Later would allow additional harm to your well-being. Your life timeline carries special significance. Certain periods create openings for divine intervention and protection. Pay attention to how this message arrives at a moment when you've been questioning this relationship already. Type "I trust the timing" as spiritual wisdom explains why this revelation comes now. Each soul receives divine protection information when their awareness has developed sufficiently to act upon it. Through sacred insight, important protection phases emerge. You've experienced increasing awareness at precisely timed intervals. You'll notice how these prepared you step by step, building your confidence to recognize truth even when it's difficult. Living wisdom shows divine protection timing. Some spiritual interventions must wait for specific consciousness thresholds. Others require particular life experiences to be completed. Divine insight reveals which timing factors influenced this protective message. Perfect understanding requires examining revelation timing. The moment when doubt first appeared. When questioning became permissible. When inner strength reached sufficient levels. These weren't random, they follow divine protection protocols perfectly designed for your well-being. Beyond human scheduling, heavenly timing orchestrates protection. Your soul received increasing warning signals at specific life stages. You experience this full revelation now because your spiritual readiness allows complete understanding rather than denial. The protection message arrives with precisely the timing needed, not a moment before you could handle it or after unnecessary harm. Sacred truth emerges with crystal clarity. This relative carries harmful energy patterns, some expressed openly, others hidden even from themselves. These patterns directly impact your spiritual and emotional well-being. Divine understanding reveals their true nature. Perhaps behind pleasant words lies energy that depletes rather than nurtures. Maybe beneath helpful actions exists expectation of control. Possibly behind family connection hides unhealthy attachment that restricts your growth. Type "I recognize the truth" as heavenly wisdom shows the reality beneath appearances. The smile that doesn't reach their eyes. The generosity with invisible strings attached. the interest in your life that somehow makes everything about them. Through spiritual sight, the pattern becomes clear. This person didn't accidentally develop these harmful behaviors. Deep wounding created protection mechanisms that now harm others through unconscious energy transfers. Living wisdom flows through honest recognition. As you acknowledge these truths, freedom expands within you. Divine understanding helps you see clearly without hatred, recognizing that harmful patterns often stem from unhealed wounds. Perfect understanding illuminates relationship dynamics. Interactions that left you confused often reflected intentionally mixed messages designed to maintain control. Your awareness creates opportunity to step back from these patterns. Beyond surface behaviors, energy patterns revealed themselves now. Words that seemed supportive while leaving you feeling diminished. Actions appearing generous while creating obligation. Attention that seemed loving while invading boundaries. Divine timing ensures you can now see these patterns clearly. Each interaction carries energy signatures beyond physical appearances. Your spiritual sensitivity detects these energies even when your conscious mind might deny their existence. Divine wisdom reveals specific ways this relative affects your energy. These subtle drains and manipulations often occur below conscious awareness yet impact your well-being profoundly. Sacred insight shows energy extraction methods. Perhaps through creating drama that pulls your attention and concern. Maybe through subtle criticism that activates your need to defend or explain. Possibly through playing victim in ways that trigger your rescuer instinct. Type I protect my energy as cosmic understanding reveals emotional manipulation tactics. Creating guilt about healthy boundaries. Implying obligations that don't actually exist. Using family connections to override your natural protection systems. Through spiritual perception, control mechanisms emerge clearly. The conversations that always circle back to their needs. The subtle dismissal of your accomplishments. The ways they position themselves at the center of family dynamics. These weren't random interaction patterns, they were systematic energy collection methods. Living wisdom explains spiritual energy transfers. Some relationships involve unconscious energy feeding patterns where one person consistently gains vitality while the other feels depleted. Your connection with this relative follows this imbalanced pattern. Perfect understanding illuminates conversation tactics. Questions that seem interested while actually gathering information for later use. Statements that contain hidden judgments. Comments that plant seeds of doubt about your perceptions. These techniques systematically undermine your confidence and boundaries. Beyond obvious behaviors, subtle energetic intrusions affect you. The uninvited opinions. The assumptions about your choices. The expectations of access to your life. Divine insight now helps you identify these boundary violations that previously seemed normal family interaction. Sacred insight reveals spiritual shields already protecting you. Divine guardians have been working silently, limiting harm from this relative even before you recognized the danger. Divine understanding shows protection already at work. Sudden interruptions during difficult interactions. intuitive urges to create distance. Unexpected interventions that provided buffers between you and this relative. Type I strengthen my protection as cosmic wisdom reveals guardians assigned to your situation. Spiritual beings whose purpose is shielding you from harmful energetic connections, especially from those whose blood connection might override normal boundaries. Through mystical perception, see the protection layers. Warning signals before interactions. Inner knowing about what topics to avoid. Changes in plans creating natural distance. These aren't coincidences, they're divine protection working in your life. Living Wisdom explains how to strengthen these shields. Conscious boundary setting amplifies natural protection. Energy clearing practices increase resilience. Protective visualizations create additional spiritual barriers. Beyond physical separation, energetic shielding operates continuously. Your spiritual guardians maintain protective fields around you, especially during vulnerable periods when this relative might otherwise access your energy more easily. Divine insight reveals specific protection practices for your situation, amplifying natural boundaries and strengthening your energetic immunity. Cosmic revelation unlocks boundary wisdom stored in your spiritual blueprint. Divine boundaries define your sovereign energy space, protecting your well-being even from relatives. Sacred insight reveals spiritual boundary principles. The divine right to determine who enters your energy field. The spiritual law supporting limited access even to family members. Type I establish divine boundaries as heavenly understanding shows specific methods. Limiting interaction frequency. Creating energetic shields before necessary contact. Developing clear phrases that maintain respect while creating distance. Living Wisdom explains boundaries beyond physical distance. Mental and emotional detachment practices. Spiritual cleansing after contact. Energy shielding techniques designed for family connections. Perfect understanding illuminates boundary language. Phrases that set limits with compassion. Responses that redirect manipulation. Statements establishing sovereignty without triggering defensive reactions. Divine wisdom reveals that boundaries reflect spiritual health rather than rejection. Your energy requires protection to fulfill your soul's purpose without unnecessary depletion. Divine insight reveals healing needed from subtle damage accumulated through this relationship. This recognition begins restoration of energy, confidence, and spiritual connection that may have diminished over time. Sacred wisdom shows recovery pathways. Energy restoration practices to replenish depleted resources. Truth recognition exercises to counteract gaslighting effects. Self-trust rebuilding methods to strengthen intuition that may have been undermined. Type I begin divine healing as heavenly guidance reveals specific healing protocols. Energy clearing techniques to remove lingering connections. Chakra balancing practices to restore natural vitality. Spiritual recalibration methods to strengthen your connection to inner guidance. Through mystical perception, healing layers become clear. Surface healing addresses immediate energy depletion. Middle healing restores emotional boundaries and self-trust. Deep healing transforms unconscious patterns that allowed harmful connections to persist. Living Wisdom explains relationship wound healing. Some relationship injuries affect your ability to trust others. Others impact self-worth and confidence. Many create hesitation about setting boundaries. Divine Insight reveals which healing areas require most immediate attention. Perfect Understanding illuminates healing timeline. Some recovery occurs rapidly once truth is recognized. Other healing unfolds gradually as new patterns establish. Deepest restoration continues as you implement spiritual practices consistently over time. Beyond individual healing, relationship pattern transformation matters. Recognizing similar dynamics in other connections. Implementing new boundary practices across relationships. Trusting your energy sensitivity is valid guidance in all interactions. Divine Wisdom reveals that complete healing creates exponential growth beyond damage recovery. Your strengthened boundaries and enhanced spiritual connection create positive transformation exceeding your pre-injury state, transforming wounds into wisdom. Cosmic Vision reveals divine helpers assigned specifically to assist your boundary journey. These spiritual allies provide guidance, protection, and strength as you implement necessary changes in this family relationship. Sacred Insight shows signs of divine intervention. Perhaps through timely information appearing when needed. Maybe through unexpected support from others. Possibly through dream guidance or meditation insights providing exactly the wisdom required for current challenges. Type I welcome divine helpers as heavenly understanding reveals your spiritual support team. Guardian presence is providing constant energetic protection. Wisdom guides offering specific boundary implementation guidance. Healing angels facilitating recovery from energetic injuries. Through spiritual perception, communication with these allies strengthens. The intuitive flashes containing precise guidance. The comforting presence during difficult moments. The synchronistic signs confirming you're moving in the right direction. These weren't imagination, they were your spiritual team making direct contact. Living Wisdom explains how these allies assist your journey. Some provide energetic shields during necessary family interactions. Others offer emotional support during challenging conversations. Many bring clarity when confusion arises about appropriate boundaries. Perfect Understanding illuminates ally recognition signals. The sudden knowing about exactly what to say in difficult moments. The unexpected courage during boundary conversations. The peace that comes after implementing guidance despite external resistance. These experiences signal direct assistance from your spiritual team. Beyond human support, multi-dimensional assistance surrounds you. Beings whose expanded awareness enables perfect guidance for your specific situation offer continuous support, especially during critical boundary implementation phases. Divine Wisdom reveals specific ways to strengthen connection with these allies through meditation, dream work, journaling, and conscious invocation during challenging interactions. Divine revelation shows how life transforms as healthy boundaries with this relative establish. This vision provides motivation to maintain necessary changes despite potential resistance or discomfort. Sacred Insight reveals relationship improvements in other areas. As energy stops draining through this unhealthy connection, other relationships naturally strengthen. Friendships deepen. New connections with supportive people manifest more easily. Family dynamics gradually rebalance around healthier patterns. Type I embrace my safe path as heavenly wisdom shows personal transformation outcomes. Increased energy for pursuits that matter to you. Enhanced intuitive clarity once regular disruption ends. Deeper spiritual connection as energy resources replenish. Through mystical perception, growth opportunities emerge. Creative expression expands without unconscious limitations. Career paths clarify as confidence rebuilds. Spiritual gifts develop more fully in the safe space created by proper boundaries. Living wisdom explains emotional freedom emerging through this process. Relief replacing anxiety before family gatherings. Confidence replacing uncertainty during interactions. Peace replacing tension in daily life. These emotional shifts signal successful boundary implementation. Perfect understanding illuminates identity reclamation. Aspects of yourself that dimmed under this relative's influence naturally rebrighten. Authentic self-expression returns without conscious effort. Soul purposes activate more fully as energy becomes available. Beyond individual benefits, collective healing possibilities expand. Your boundary example provides silent permission for others experiencing similar dynamics. Your energetic shift creates ripple effects through the entire family system, potentially catalyzing healing beyond your direct experience. Divine wisdom reveals that your safe path serves not only personal protection but higher purposes connecting to your soul's mission and others' healing journeys. Cosmic revelation reaches its peak now. The most profound truth about divine protection emerges with crystal clarity. Sacred understanding shows that setting boundaries with harmful relatives fulfills spiritual law rather than violating it. Family connections were never meant to override energetic sovereignty or permit ongoing harm, even unintentional. Type I receive final guidance as heavenly wisdom reveals your next steps. Begin with small, consistent boundary adjustments rather than dramatic confrontations. Implement energetic protection before physical changes. Allow divine timing to create natural separation opportunities. Through spiritual sight, perfect divine orchestration appears. Resources, support, and guidance arrive precisely when needed for each boundary implementation phase. Nothing is missing from your protection plan. Living wisdom culminates in profound simplicity. Your safety requires no justification or explanation to others. Divine protection operates through your conscious choices aligned with your highest good. Perfect insight reveals eternal support. Your connection with divine protection transcends all earthly relationships, continuing regardless of external circumstances or others' responses to your boundaries. Ultimate activation occurs now. All revealed wisdom integrates into your being, permanently strengthening your boundary awareness with this relative and all relationships. Divine power infuses your sovereign energy field. Every boundary you establish carries sacred authority beyond human permission or approval. Receive the ultimate blessing of complete divine protection. Heavenly wisdom guides your boundary journey constantly. Perfect understanding illuminates each step eternally.